Tonight's local news straight to the point. You're watching the UPN 50 10 o'clock news.
A local man is arrested tonight after police say he kidnaps his infant son and then takes police on a wild chase. It happened just hours ago in Rochester Hills. Police say the man was in his underwear when he kidnapped the baby and escaped in a stolen Blazer with the 5-year-old in the back. Authorities managed to stop the man, but not before he rammed into 4 police officer cars. Police say they were worried the man would try to kill the infant.
The officers that made the initial stop believed that he was attempting to harm the baby. They had to wrestle the baby out of his arms.
The man is in police custody right now. He will most likely be charged on Monday. The children were taken to the hospital just as a precaution, but are safe at home tonight. New tonight, residents in Chesterfield and Lenox townships, along with New Haven, are being told to boil their water. Officials say the main water line from Detroit that serves the communities failed tonight. Crews are busy repairing the problem, but it'll be another day or two before that boil order can be lifted.
And also new tonight, the phones are working again at the Ferndale Police Department. Power knocked out the phones earlier and left residents without a non-emergency number to call. But everything is back to normal tonight, and residents are being told to call the non-emergency number for any non-emergencies and 911 for emergency calls only. Well, heavy rains and thunderstorms have moved off the east, but not before causing some flooding in our area. The rain began falling around 4 o'clock this afternoon, give or take a couple minutes, depending where you live. And for the most part, it come quick and hit hard and heavy. This is what it looked like right after the rain fell in Oakland County. We're told some 23,000 Southeast Michigan residents are without power. We're going to check in with Jim Schneebelt in just a couple of minutes for an update on the weather.
Recently released reports show big overruns at Detroit Metro Airport. Here are the essentials. The 4 reports showed costs under the design and architecture firm Sims Varner more than doubled, from $1.5 million to $3.1 million. That same firm has contracts now to design the new midfield terminal and a new parking garage nearby. County officials say auditors need more time to reconcile the amounts paid to Sims Varner.
Tonight, a federal lawsuit is filed to postpone the primary election in Detroit. It was filed yesterday by a Detroit resident against City Clerk Jackie Curry. Now, it alleges Curry misinformed 180,000 voters the primary election scheduled for September 11th would actually be held a week later. But tonight, almost no one thinks that lawsuit will hold water, and the primary election will go on as scheduled. Now, with only 3 days left until the primary, the front runners are in the race for the mayor are amassing huge resources and making a last-ditch effort to get every vote they can. Here's UPN 50's Woody Willis.
300 union healthcare workers are using computerized phone banks to get out the vote for their candidate.
The choice is simple. We can either elect another mayor, or we can transcend politics all over this country by electing Kwame Kilpatrick at 31 years old.
Kilpatrick believes voters are prepared to make a political and personal choice.
A lot of it is issue-driven, but more of it is emotion and hope.
Cheerleaders led the way for Gil Hill at the offices of the 14th Congressional District. Hill told campaign workers that despite recent newspaper negative editorials twisting his record, he's going to win.
God bless you, thank you, and I'm looking forward to a glorious reign as the mayor of the city of Detroit. Thank you.
Hill is bracing for negative attacks against him. The rap campaign song on Saturday, a gospel version on Sunday. Some 200 campaign workers are mailing letters, putting up signs about the candidate with experience.
I'm in a position to hit the ground running. I'm the one in the position to give us our future right here and right now.
In Detroit, Woody Willis, UPN 50, 10 o'clock news.
And Woody also tells us that many of the candidates agree a low turnout could lead to surprising results even for the top runners. Now, for a complete list of all the candidates and their views, you can get it by logging on to our website at upn50.com.
As promised, you said you heard about the stormy weather earlier. Now Jim Schneebelt's going to tell us a little bit more.
Hey, Jim.
Well, the storms have moved away for the time being, but before the storms hit, the high temperature today got up to 88 degrees. The low this morning, 71. If you were wondering, is that a record 88? No, 98's the record from the year 1976. Right now it's 73 and cloudy. It's a little cooler up north and out west, but around Metro Detroit, temperatures are in the low to mid 70s. The storms have moved away from us for the time being, but more thunderstorms possibly later tonight through tomorrow into tomorrow night. In fact, we could have another 36 hours of stormy weather, then it turns cooler, and I'll have that future cast in just over 10 minutes. Harry and Sherry, see you then.
Thank you, Jim. An off-duty Detroit cop and an officer in training are busted as police raid a wild party on the city's west side. It happened last night here on Graydale, just a quarter-mile away from the 8th precinct. Police seized weapons, cocaine, marijuana, and stereo equipment. Authorities also ticketed and arrested several people.
There were over 210 persons that were cited. We arrested 10 individuals for actually running the place. We confiscated 7 vehicles, approximately $2,000 in monies.
The off-duty officer arrested in the incident has been on the force for 4 years. He is being investigated right now by Internal Affairs.
And we are back with more in just a moment. Stay with us.
Northwest Airlines faces a $3 million fine for alleged mishandling of passengers with disabilities. The Transportation Department wants to fine Northwest for leaving people with disabilities on planes too long and taking them to the wrong gate. UPN 50's Chris Kuhl has the facts first.
The Department of Transportation is charging Northwest with thousands of violations regarding passengers with disabilities who boarded their planes. The charges: long waits, taking people to the wrong gates, and leaving those with disabilities aboard planes. Heidi Van Arnhem was left on a Northwest plane for 45 minutes. Her complaint is one of many that have prompted the Department of Transportation to act.
The chairs are being damaged, and people are waiting a long time to get their wheelchairs brought back up to them. So when it comes to traveling, it's extremely difficult.
Northwest Airlines says it's deeply disappointed the Department of Transportation has elected to proceed with this enforcement action after rejecting Northwest's proposal to work together to achieve workable solutions for logistical problems faced by the industry. Heidi Van Arnhem just wants the problems grounded.
Cases like this, situations like this occur on a daily basis. So at some point, we need to make sure that we're looking out for everybody's interest.
The next step for this case is to go before an administrative law judge. Now, should the $3 million fine be held up, it would be the largest civil penalty ever for such a violation. At Metro Airport, Chris Kuhl, UPN 50, 10 o'clock news.
Automakers are reducing and, in some cases, eliminating altogether their contributions to 401k programs. Here are the essentials. Chrysler, General Motors, and Delphi Automotive have all made cuts in their programs. Chrysler capped this 401k matching contribution for higher-paid workers. GM cut its match program by 25%, and Delphi suspended its program indefinitely. Falling car and truck sales are to blame. Meanwhile, Jaguar is recalling 45,000 vehicles that may not meet federal clean air emission standards. The recall covers 1995 through 97 models of the XJ6, XJR, and the Vanderplas, as well as the 95-96 models of the XJS. The EPA requested the recall after a malfunction in an exhaust valve and was found at a lab in Ann Arbor. For more information, you can contact your dealer.
Aviation officials are working on a new type of technology to increase airplane safety tonight. It's called synthetic vision, and it allows pilots to see in areas of poor visibility. The system will use satellite signals, sensors, and 3D maps to give a clear picture of what's going on outside the cockpit. Bad visibility is the leading cause of airline accidents, and researchers believe synthetic vision will greatly increase safety.
Synthetic vision is a real asset to a pilot. It enables us to be cognizant of the terrain and the airports that heretofore was difficult.
Synthetic vision will also help to cut down on weather-related delays at the airport.
An alleged Colombian drug boss has been arrested and extradited to the United States for trial. Fabio Ochoa is being held at a federal detention center in Miami right now. He and his gang are accused of bringing 30 tons of cocaine a month into the United States.
Jim Schneebel's up next with your first warning forecast, so don't go away.
3, 2, 1.
That Atlas rocket is traveling through space right now on a top secret mission. The rocket blasted off from Vandenberg Air Force Base in California today. The military is being tight-lipped about the mission. A runaway blimp in Kansas City, Missouri is back on the ground tonight. The unmanned blimp floated away after it broke loose from the airport. It was blown nearly 75 miles away by a heavy thunderstorm. The blimp was found 2 hours later, deflated on top of a truck.
It has happened again, another shark attack in Florida, this one sending an 8-year-old boy to the hospital. It happened yesterday near Miami. The little boy was swimming when the shark bit him on the leg. Doctors say the injuries were minor, though.
Man, I know they're saying that there's no more shark attacks than usual, but I think I'd have to stay out of the water.
Yeah, well, that has been hard to do today.
Sure, here
no sharks,
especially.
but a lot of water.
The flood waters around, yeah, you couldn't miss them. And we had about a half an inch of rain at Metro Airport, but some places had much more than that. And some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. We had numerous reports of some trees down, as you mentioned. 23,000 people lost power for a while today.
Southeast Michigan, yeah.
And before the storms hit, it was another warm one today. 88 officially at the airport, 71 the low this morning, and there's that close to half an inch of rain at the airport. Right now, it's cloudy and 74 degrees. The humidity at 91%, wind out of the southeast at 6. The pressure steady at 29.89 inches of mercury. Around Metro Detroit right now, temperatures are holding steadily in the low 70s. It is cooler up north. If you're headed to Marquette tonight, you'll need a jacket. 59 degrees up there, Sault Ste. Marie at 66. And we have some thunderstorms still over southeastern lower Michigan. All the watches and warnings have expired, but still a line of thunderstorms. We could have some in and around Metro Detroit during the night tonight, again tomorrow, and more likely tomorrow night as a cold front approaches from the west. Over the next 24 to 36 hours, we'll be under the gun with the warm, humid air mass to the east of this cold front. We'll see thunderstorms erupting as the cold front approaches. And then this cold front moves through Monday morning. Behind the cold front, the rain ends, the humidity drops, the temperatures drop, and the weather gets back to closer to normal for us for this time of year. In the meantime, tonight, another warm, humid night. Forecast lows like this, generally in the mid to upper 60s to the south, the mid to upper 50s in parts of the UP, some low 60s in the northern lower peninsula. Highs tomorrow a little bit cooler up to the north, 60s and 70s up there, but still the low to mid 80s across southeastern lower Michigan. Tonight's forecast, showers, maybe some thunderstorms possible, the overnight low near 70. Tomorrow, a continuing chance for showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon and evening. Tomorrow's high up to about 83, so not quite as warm as today, but still warm. But the temperatures come down some more on Monday and a little more on Tuesday. On Monday, the skies clear out, 75 the high, Tuesday 72, and then leveling off in the low to mid 70s on Wednesday and Thursday with partly cloudy skies. The futurecast for next weekend calls for the next chance for rain next Saturday with highs in the mid 70s, morning lows in the low 50s. But keep your eye out to the south because there could be some more big storms around tonight, tomorrow, and again tomorrow night.
Okay.
Not over yet.
I got the big umbrella in the trunk of the car.
You'll need it, but
the huge one.
Not with the lightning.
No, right with the lightning. Just enough to. It's a wooden thing on top anyway. Yeah, so that way. All right, won't bother me. Well, Jim Burke's up next with sports. Stay with us. All depends on who you like. You were happy or sad today.
That's true. Yeah. Green or blue?
Yeah, well, you take away 1 minute, and the Wolverines would be coming home with a win. Right. That's 1 minute. Prior to today, the last time Michigan and Washington met on the football field was in the '93 Rose Bowl with Elvis Gerbach and Tyrone Wheatley leading the Wolverines to a 38-31 victory. Today, U of M couldn't muster nearly that kind of offense, and the Huskies explode for 2 touchdowns in a 51-second span to stun the visitors from Ann Arbor 23-18. Lots of U of M fans making the cross-country trek happy when John Navarre hooked up with Marquise Walker in the second quarter, giving Michigan a 9-6 lead with a point after. But disaster struck in the fourth when, with Michigan up 12-6, looking to go up by 9, Hayden Epstein's field goal attempt was blocked, returned 77 yards by Rock Alexander for a score. The point after made it 13-12 Washington. Then less than a minute later, Navarre's pass mishandled by Chris Perry into the arms of Omar Lowe. An easy 21-yard interception return And that was the old ball game. Oh, Navarre did connect with Walker in the final minute, but not enough to overcome those two stingers in the fourth quarter. The Huskies win it today by 5. Spartans and Central Michigan. New #1 quarterback Jeff Smoker had a good game in the opener. A touchdown pass in this tough helicopter 3-yard run for 6 in the second quarter. And speaking of tough, look at that tough MSU defense right there. Look at that hit. Ouch. Keeping the Chippewas out of the end zone both in the second and the third quarters today. Ryan Van Dyke rotated with Smoker, and look at this, a 53-yarder to Roderick Maples. 35-7 Spartans after 3. CMU, specifically James King, did come up with 4 block punts of MSU, tying a Division I record, but State's offense overwhelmed Central. T.J. Duckett went over 2,000 collegiate rushing yards, 120 today. The Spartans win the opener 35-21. Not exceptionally pretty, but it is a victory.
Not too much, sorry. You know, it's mistakes that you have to make. I'm glad we made them today, first game rather than middle of the season, and there definitely would have been a big problem.
The task for the Lions tomorrow in Green Bay is indeed formidable. Detroit has not beaten the Packers there in a decade, and when the injury-riddled secondary, it could be a long, long day for the Honolulu Blue and Silver. Jerry Millen is in Green Bay and has this report.
No, it is not Charlie Batch. It is I, Jerry Millen, and we are in Green Bay, Wisconsin, home of the Packers, where tomorrow, right there, inside Lambeau Field, Charlie Batch and the fellas will open the NFL regular season against Brett Favre and his group of sissies. I hope from the looks of it, I don't know. I hope the stadium is ready for tomorrow's game. We shall see. But I do know one thing. There are such a thing called cheeseheads, and believe it or not, there are Packer fans somewhere in this town, and it's my job to find them. Eat one!
Go, Pack, go! My heart is green and my blood is yellow. And these guys don't understand what it means to be a Packer fan. They don't. They think they do, but they don't understand.
Predictions for tomorrow's game.
35-7.
Lions going to beat them by that much?
No. Packers are going to jump out to a big lead, probably like 20-0, and the Lions will fight back, and then, you know, to make it a game, and then we'll just wipe them out.
Problem is, I'm tired of rooting for Charlie Batch. He just hasn't come through with us. Packers have been a long-time favorite. Lions a long-time favorite. Come over here for the season opener. Got to go with the winners. Go Packers!
I noticed you're buying some Packer attire.
Yes.
Yeah, big Packer fan?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah?
Yes.
So what do you think about tomorrow's game?
Oh, definitely we're going to win. Yeah.
What gives you that impression that you guys might win tomorrow?
Well, we have a good team, and Lions always, they cannot do anything here in Green Bay. They always lose.
Always?
Always.
Who won in 76?
Green Bay. Definitely, it was Green Bay.
He doesn't know. Excuse me, are you a Packer fan? Oh, he must not be a Packer fan. See, Brett Favre's a quarterback, they're embarrassed.
It's Brett Favre, it's the Packers, it's Detroit. What can I say about Detroit? They're blue.
Those Packer fans sure are a strange bunch, but you know what? I heard the second favorite thing to do here in Green Bay, Wisconsin was cow tip. So that's what I'm about to do. Remember, tomorrow night on STV, we'll have the Lions kicking off the regular season in the NFL right here against the Packers, so watch for that report. Until then, I'm coming, baby. Till then, I'm Jerry Millen for the UPN 50 10 o'clock news.
Remade at the U.S. Open tonight for the first time in 117 years. Sisters met in the finals of a Grand Slam tournament. Venus Williams topped Serena in straight sets. Mom watched in person. Dad couldn't take it. He was back in Florida. The 99 Open champ committed 36 unforced errors, 17 more than her older sis, defending champ Venus. You had to believe it was a bit uncomfortable for both sisters, who, of course, are so very close. 6-2, 6-4. Venus defends her title, but it is $1.2 million in those Williams coffers. That is match point. You'll see the sisters embrace right there. Tomorrow, of course, Pete Sampras and Leighton Hewitt will battle in the men's finals. And the Tigers beat Toronto today 4-3.
Why not embrace? You know,
Yeah,
they say they got real close to each other. Say, I'll split that money with you.
That's right. I'll split $400,000 with you.
Good work tonight.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay.
Well, we still could see some storms tonight, not within the next 20 minutes or so, but later tonight and tomorrow night. 70 for the overnight low tonight, 83 the high tomorrow, and then a cold front goes through early Monday, and we'll see highs in the low to mid 70s the rest of the week.
All right, thank you.
It'll be nice and mild, kind of almost fall-like.
Normal.
Normal.
Finally.
Okay.
Yeah, right?
All right, thanks a lot. Hey, thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night, everybody.